Last week, I got this comment from a viewer. I just started on YouTube and I have no idea where to start. I have this anxiety with what niche to choose from and if people will be interested in my content. I feel really useless at some point and I'm not sure if YouTube will recommend my channel. If this comment resonates with you and if you're afraid to start on YouTube, then this video is for you. I've been making YouTube videos for years, growing my own channel to 159,000 subscribers, and I've worked with some of the top educational creators to help them grow as well. And so in this video, I want to tell you how you can stop being afraid to start on YouTube and how you can build something that will truly change your life. If you're a small creator, you already know that the odds are stacked against you. There are over 20 million videos posted every single day to YouTube, which makes it really hard to stand out against the rest of the noise. So to try and get ahead, you decide to learn about YouTube. You try to figure out the best niche to start in. You try to figure out how to title your videos, how to come up with the best thumbnails, the best editing, the best writing. But after months of learning and studying, somehow you only feel worse than you did before. I know that because I've been in your shoes before. I've known since I was 12 that I wanted to be a YouTube creator and to build an online community because I loved to be creative, I loved sharing things with other people, and I loved having community, but I was always really introverted. So I spent years trying to learn with nothing really to show for it. Because I would post a couple videos here and there, I'd stay consistent for a couple months, but then when I didn't see results, I'd realize, oh, you know what? I need to go and learn more. I'm not ready to keep going yet because I haven't figured it out. When you add up those repetitions and all of the learning and not seeing results, it builds an immense amount of pressure. Because I did that for literally 10 years, and you might be in the same cycle as well. Especially if you're driven, you want to build your own online business, your own channel, and you're clear on what your end destination is. When you're seeing no results and you're lagging behind your expectations, you feel a ton of pressure to get there faster. So when I come back to this comment, I've been there before, and I understand why he feels this way. Why he feels super overwhelmed with something like picking a niche or not getting the algorithm to recommend your content. But I want you to know that if you're feeling like this, or if you're feeling lost and stuck and afraid, there's a hard truth that I need you to hear. As someone who did that for a long time and made it to the other side, as someone who grew a channel to 159,000 subscribers, I realized that I was holding myself back. So next, let me show you what I realized and how you can use it to finally start and stop being afraid. All right, I pulled up the channels of a couple of small creators you may have never heard of. I'm just kidding, of course. These are some of the biggest creators, Mr. Beast and Veritasium, one of the biggest educational creators. When you look at these channels, they seem like they're untouchable, right? Like their videos are getting millions upon millions of views. It looks like they have this natural edge that makes them really good at making content. And that's what makes us feel like we need to have everything figured out before we start. But there's a button on the YouTube homepage, or the YouTube channel page, I should say, that shows that this isn't true. Just hit oldest, and you'll see that Veritasium has been making videos for 15 years. The early ones were just short experiments, talking in front of a chalkboard. These aren't anything special. And when we look at Mr. Beast, if we hit oldest, he was recording short Minecraft videos talking about the most random topics and really not engaging people. Like, sure, these videos have hundreds of thousands or millions of views now, but quite honestly, when these videos came out, they had almost no views. No one really cared. It's just the amount of time that's passed since these videos, 13 years, 15 years, they've stuck around and stayed in the game long enough that they could get better at what they did. The top creators that you see, the ones you watch, the ones you look up to, they're not different from you and me. They started out in the same place. They started out feeling afraid, feeling lost, feeling like their dreams may not be possible. But they just continued posting for so long that it became completely irrational that they wouldn't succeed. This platform, YouTube, the one you're watching this video on right now, it is potentially one of the most powerful platforms we've ever seen invented. Because if you go back like 30 years to the 90s, right, and you wanted to make a living as a creative, you wanted to do something like this for an audience, you pretty much needed to get incredibly lucky or work incredibly hard. Because number one, you needed a ton of gear, you needed connections to people who could broadcast what you were doing, and you needed to constantly be trying to workshop new ideas, sell them to studios, get them on TV or in a movie theater. It wasn't easy to post. Meanwhile, now everyone has the same level playing field. If you want to start posting videos, you can start posting today. Same way that I'm posting a video today on my other channel, or Mr. Beast is posting a video on his channel. We're all posting on the same platform. But because there's not the restrictions that, they had 30 years ago with TV industry, movie industry, everyone has that level playing field. That's why there's 20 million videos uploaded to YouTube every single day. Everyone, whether it's your channel with 0 subscribers or Mr. Beast, we are all using the same platform and playing the exact same game. So the ones who succeed are the ones who continue to show up, the ones who outlast the competition and make it impossible to fail. The difference is that it feels easier now because anyone can post and we're all on that level playing field. But the competition is still just as high. You need to engage the audiences, you need to make them care, and potentially it's even harder to succeed now than it's ever been before. But it just feels a lot easier because everyone can upload and everyone can be good at YouTube. So when you compare that to the average creator pathway, where most people will start posting, they'll be really excited. They think that they can get the same results as Mr. Beast. So they post like 2 or 3 videos. They don't see results, so maybe they slow down a little bit. They try to, internalize, figure out what's going on. They try to see how they can improve, make better titles, thumbnails, editing, whatever. And you spend all that time learning. What you're ultimately doing is taking away chances, an at-bat, if you want to call it that, of posting a video and seeing how it does. That's where the real learning and the real reps come from. That decision to dial back, to learn more, or wait till you're ready, that holds you back from ever seeing the results you want. In the 10 years that I wanted to grow my channel and I was constantly, trying to learn, trying to grow, trying new niches, trying all of these different things, what I didn't realize at the time was that I was jumping back and forth and expecting instant results. I never stuck it out long enough to see what I was trying to build come to life. The best things in your life don't take 1 or 2 days to build. They don't take 1 or 2 videos. They take repeated action of showing up every week for 2 to 3 years before you see strong results that last a lifetime. Mr. Beast has been posting on YouTube for 13 years. If you post on YouTube for 13 years and you don't see results, okay, then we can talk. But the truth is that unless you can consistently show up and start posting, nothing else really matters. So coming back to this comment, the reason I think that this is all relevant is because ultimately YouTube making recommendations and finding the right niche, none of that really matters. What matters is posting videos, showing up, and learning with each rep. And so when I see comments like this, right, it makes me think of all the people who expect instant results and they feel pressure that the first attempt needs to be perfect. And so knowing that that's how a lot of people feel and how I've felt for a long time in my own YouTube journey, what can you do to get over that and start posting? Well, first things first, there's no such thing as a perfect niche, a perfect title, a perfect thumbnail, perfect editing, perfect anything. Mr. Beast talks about it all the time in his interviews, that he calls his friends after he uploads a video to see what he could do better. Is there a better title option, better pacing, better storytelling, anything? He's always looking to grow and improve because he knows the fundamental truth of YouTube, which is that nothing is ever perfect. You need to prime yourself to understand that your goal should be to continuously improve. Your goal should be that in 2 years from now, the video that you post today looks outdated and looks like something that you're not proud of anymore, because you've taken the time to learn and improve and keep progressing. So your goal shouldn't be to find the perfect anything. It should be to stick with something long enough that you see the results. So you need to prime yourself for the right goals early on, otherwise you're setting yourself up for failure. That means you can't expect results overnight or within 2, 3, 10, 20 videos. It's going to take time. But more importantly, you need to expect that you're going to feel behind. When you start and you make your first thumbnail, it's not going to look like the pros, the people who have been doing it for years. And that's okay. The creators I've worked with who have grown their own audience, they did it because they showed up and built a community. They didn't do it because they had a perfect thumbnail. The thumbnail gets people to click. Then you have to deliver on the thumbnail. You have to deliver on the promise. There's a lot of steps. So remove the pressure. Try to improve with each upload instead of trying to nail it from day one. Which also leads to point 2, by the way. You need to adopt an abundance mindset. In case you didn't know, there's really 2 types of mindsets: scarcity and abundance. In a scarcity mindset, you assume that resources and opportunities are limited, which means that when you have an opportunity that pops up and you don't perfectly execute on it, you are afraid, you're fearful because you may not get another one. Your resources are limited. Whereas in an abundance mindset, you assume that your opportunities and resources are limitless. With an abundance mindset, when you see a competitor succeed, it it means that you can succeed too. When you get an opportunity in an abundance mindset, you may not need to take every opportunity because there's more coming. Abundance assumes that there's plentiful resources in the world and plentiful resources for you to eventually receive. When you're approaching YouTube content, you need to take that abundance mindset because, let me be honest with you, each video is not going to be what teleports you to being successful. It's the pattern of uploading. And the only thing that's going to keep you going in that pattern of uploading is an abundance mindset, where you assume that you will get more subscribers, you will get more views, you will get more sales from your videos down the line. But you need to genuinely believe that there's more coming and that it is possible for you to get more in order to feel the motivation to keep going. If you live in this scarcity mindset where you're afraid that you're not going to get results, you'll never get another subscriber, people won't watch your videos, you're going to pick the wrong niche because there's only one opportunity or limited opportunity. The truth is, you're going to bring that to life because that mindset of fear will cause you to give up before you see results. It will convince you that it's not possible to achieve your goals, so you won't stick with them long enough to see the results come down the line. So far what we've established is you need to prime yourself. You need to be patient. And to do that, you need to take on an abundance mindset. But there's still a third step that is really valuable. And that is to focus on learning in motion. You will never feel ready. You will never feel like Mr. Beast. You will never feel confident. You will never succeed on YouTube unless you start before you're ready, before you feel like you know everything. There is no creator on YouTube who waited for the perfect time to start, learned everything perfectly, dropped their first video and hit 1 million subscribers. Every single person who succeeded, everyone who has a plaque or a play button or anything, they started with scrappy, messy videos. They put them out, they got feedback, and they learned and improved. And over time, they saw results. They figured things out. They learned what worked, what their audience liked, what resonated with a larger group of people, and that is what led them to success. Instead of preparing yourself and learning before you begin, you need to learn in motion. You need to start before you feel like you know everything and take lessons from each rep. Genuinely, this applies to everything in your life. These 3 things really apply to everything in your life. If you wait until you're ready, you adopt a scarcity mindset, and you prime yourself with the wrong goals, you'll never really succeed at anything that you take on in that mindset. Whereas if you approach YouTube with abundance and you approach YouTube with the right expectations and you focus on learning and growing and getting to that point one day, that's when you'll see results. The reason that this comment motivated me to make this video is because I've seen a lot of people who are afraid. But the truth is, you're not afraid of picking the wrong niche. You're not afraid that YouTube's not going to recommend your content. You're afraid that you're not going to be the person who can succeed on YouTube. And as a result, each step feels paralyzing because you want it to be perfect. No one has ever been perfect on YouTube because perfect is always changing. So start before you feel ready, keep trying, keep learning, and I promise you will get there. Just have to keep going. All right, if that video was valuable for you and you made it to the end, be sure to comment down below. Let me know what kind of content you make and how you're doing with YouTube, and then subscribe for more. I'm posting 2 videos per week until the end of February, so I got a lot more good stuff coming for you soon. And once you're done with that, be sure to check out this video here where I show you the 33 easy tips to start on YouTube.